Ever stop and wonder how a brand new product actually gets into that perfectly sealed bottle, or that pouch, or that box you see on the shelf? Well, today we're pulling back the curtain on a massive, kind of hidden industry. We're going to deconstruct the entire business of contract packaging, and we'll do it by looking at a real company's pitch to see how it all works.
So what is this hidden engine? It's not the brand you recognize, and nope, it's not the retailer who sells it to you. It's a specialist working completely behind the scenes, a super crucial link in the supply chain that most of us never ever think about.
And that specialist is the contract packager, or as they're often called, a co-packer. Put simply, these are the companies that other companies hire to package their stuff for them. You can think of them like an expert pit crew for pretty much everything. Chemicals, lubricants, food, cosmetics, you name it. They handle all the nitty-gritty so the big brands can focus on what they do best.
But you might be asking, why does this whole industry even need to exist? Well, it's because trying to package products yourself creates some pretty significant and often really expensive problems for a business. So let's break down these packaging pain points.
Okay, imagine you're a company and you're launching, say, a new adhesive. First off, you've got this massive upfront cost, what the business world calls CAPEX, or capital expenditure. That's all the money you've got to spend on expensive filling machines and dedicating a bunch of factory space. Then, your whole process is slow and rigid, which makes it a nightmare to create small sample packs or switch to new kinds of packaging. These are the real headaches businesses deal with: a huge investment, painfully slow turnaround, and just a total lack of flexibility.
And this, right here, is exactly where a company like Packmasters steps into the picture, offering a really clear solution to a very complex problem.
You can really see the transformation on this slide. The old way, doing it all in-house, basically chains a company to these huge fixed costs and really slow processes. The Packmasters way, well, it breaks those chains. By outsourcing, a company turns a heavy one-time capital investment into a flexible, ongoing operating expense. And that is the entire game, becoming asset-light and agile.
So how do they do it? By offering a whole suite of services. I mean, it's not just putting stuff in a box. It's everything from filling and sealing bottles to doing complex kitting and assembly. And notice their specialty in handling hazardous chemicals. That is a highly regulated, high-value niche that not just anyone can jump into.
Okay, the solution is clear, it makes a ton of sense. But just how big is the problem they're solving? Let's zoom out to the market and see how this all adds up to a massive opportunity.
The timing here is absolutely crucial. There's a major structural shift happening in the Indian market. Brands are moving away from owning their own capital-intensive factories so they can focus on their core business, things like marketing and R&D. They want to be asset-light, and that exact trend is creating a boom for specialists like co-packers.
And the scale, it is just immense. The total addressable market, or TAM, think of that as the entire potential pie for this industry in India, is estimated at a staggering 50,000 crore rupees. To put that in perspective, that's over $6 billion US. This is the massive playground these companies get to operate in.
But of course, a company can't target everyone. So let's narrow it down to the Serviceable Available Market, or SAM. This is the slice of that pie that a company like Packmasters can realistically target given their specialty in chemicals and liquids. But even that slice is a massive 15,000 crores. That's still nearly $2 billion US.
So what can they actually capture? This is the Serviceable Obtainable Market, or SOM, their realistic, on-the-ground annual target. At 75 crores, or roughly $9 million US, they're aiming for just 0.5% of their serviceable market. And that just proves that even a tiny little piece of this pie represents a huge business.
And you know what? The win is totally at their back. This chart shows that the fastest growing segment of all is flexible packaging. We're talking things like pouches and sachets, growing at 12% a year. This lines up perfectly with what brands are demanding, putting co-packers in a really strategic sweet spot.
A big market is one thing, but can this company actually deliver on the promise? This is where we got to look for the proof.
First, they've got history. They were founded way back in 1998, so they've been in this game for a long, long time. They've built up some serious capacity and are now ready for their next big phase of growth. So yeah, this isn't some new startup. We're talking about an established, seasoned player.
And just look who trusts them. When you see names like Henkel, a global leader in adhesives, on the list, that tells you something really important. These massive corporations have incredibly strict quality and safety standards, so working with them is like getting a powerful stamp of approval.
That trust isn't just based on a handshake either. It's backed up by official certifications. ISO 9001 is all about quality management, making sure their process is consistent and reliable. And 14001, that's for environmental management, which is absolutely critical, especially when you're handling chemicals. These are not just logos on a website, they are hard proof of operational excellence.
So, with a clear problem, a strong solution, and a proven track record, what's the ultimate goal? Where is this all headed?
And this right here is what it's all about. Their vision isn't just to be another co-packer. It's to set the global standard. And you know, I really love the combination here of innovative problem solving with old-fashioned integrity. It really speaks to a company that's both looking to the future and grounded in some really solid principles.
And that leaves us with a final thought. This big shift towards outsourcing that's fueling the whole contract packaging boom, well, it's happening all across the board. And it kind of makes you wonder, doesn't it? What other invisible industries are out there, quietly working behind the scenes, powering the world we all see?